The crypto market is really heating up. We're at 37.8 bull market progress. This is taking into account every other bull market. The progress bar is based on standard halving cycles, and you can see each halving here. And what you notice is after each halving, we tend to enter into what's being now called the banana zone. It seems like the banana zone terminology is getting quite popular. I believe originally started by Raoul Pal, but we've been talking about this forever, and really people who are familiar with Bitcoin and crypto know about this, that there's always about a 9 to 11th month period where Bitcoin just kind of goes parabolic, kind of like a banana. Usually starts in the summer, into fall, maybe even into winter. It's the exact same thing Fred Krueger was talking about in this video here. So things are about to get crazy. I just want to make you aware of this. Like, now is the time to shine. Now is the time to double, triple down on your education and awareness around the cryptocurrency market. Even Sergey Nazarov, founder of Chainlink, says prepare for what comes next.
The launch of the ETH ETF proves a very basic assumption that the Bitcoin ETF will not be the only ETF or traditional financial market vehicle through which the average institutional investor and consumer can access cryptocurrencies. It will extend beyond Bitcoin to, in this case, ETH. But I personally feel that that's really just the beginning. Just like many systems and protocols initially list Bitcoin and ETH, and then eventually list a multitude of other tokens, that is really the trajectory that we're on. So on the one hand, it's significant because the ETH community likes it and it relates to the ETH community. On the other hand, it is a sign of a very clear trend that not only Bitcoin, not only ETH, but many other tokens out in the world will end up getting their own ETFs at some point, allowing the larger global capital markets to interact with that financial product.
Now, this parabolic banana zone, it's not going to start tomorrow. It's not going to shoot up 50K in a week. In the short term, we're seeing consolidation. We could be seeing a rotation from Bitcoin into ETH. Two reasons. One, capital being sidelined that now see ETH as so much more viable than even just a month ago. And two, a rotation into Ethereum from Bitcoin itself. We're still in this consolidation period right now, but once we break out, that's when we're really going to see this. I mean, institutions are backing Ethereum now. Top investment firms support the Ethereum ETF, including BlackRock, Grayscale, ARK Invest, Fidelity, Bitwise, Hashdex, Invesco, VanEck. Sooner or later, huge smart money will flow into the Ethereum ecosystem. We're going to be ready. Are you? And I mentioned that as another example of why in the short term, we might see a rotation from Bitcoin into Ethereum. Bitcoin might chop around a little bit more. Eventually, both of these assets are going to boom. These are institutional grade now. But Bitcoin will rise again, stronger than ever. I assure you. Think about it like this. Bitcoin ETFs bought 3,520 Bitcoin yesterday, $235 million worth of Bitcoin. That's 8x all the Bitcoin mined. There is not enough Bitcoin to sustain 70K. Strap in, God candle is coming. And even more than Bitcoin and Ethereum, truly, I've never been more bullish on crypto, on altcoins and crypto in America. Think about the implications of what's happening with FIT21. This is the bill. Coinbase is making another push to appeal its case against the SEC, citing lawmakers' FIT21 vote. The exchange noted a division between the lawmakers and the SEC in their views on jurisdiction over crypto. Let me clue you in to exactly what the FIT21 bill will do. What does it say? Why is this so positive for crypto? Short thread on the most important aspects of the FIT21 bill, the 5-prong decentralization test to determine whether or not an asset is a digital commodity. Expect all protocols with goals of decentralization to be paying very close attention to this test. Number 1, the power rule. No person can change the code, and no person can prohibit any other person from using the system in any way. Prong 1 thus requires protocols not to have admin censorship powers. Prong 2, ownership and voting. In the last calendar year, no affiliated person can own 20% of the asset. No person can have the power to direct 20% of the voting. Power must be given up. Think about this. Prong 2 is powerful. No affiliated person can own 20%. This would immediately hurt many token generation event plans. Further, Dissolution means nothing if the founder/founders delegates own over 20% of the voting power. Cough, rune, cough, hex. Prong 3. Code changes. In the last 3 months, no changes were made to the code by persons except for maintenance, bugs, vulnerabilities. Also, in the last 3 months, no changes were made unless adopted through the consensus or agreement of a decentralized government system, meaning that development teams must take a backseat to DAOs. Prong 4. No marketing as an investment. Doesn't get any simpler. Don't market the asset as an investment within the past 3 months. Prong 5. Rules of inflation. The token issuance of the past 12 months must be an end-user distribution. This is government talk for an airdrop that 1. Is broadly distributed, 2. relates to the nature of the chain, or 3. is based on the holdings of other assets. So, all in all, these 5 prongs would actually end up classifying many popular government tokens as securities, perhaps rightly so. The prongs are surprisingly thorough and reflect the nuances of crypto. If all assets lived up to these standards, we would see less fraud. I believe FIT21 is the right decision for crypto in America. Hey, real quick, you should join us at Bitcoin Conference in Nashville this year. 10% off if you use the code Altcoin Daily, link and details in the description. This is the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world. I think this is going to be their biggest year ever. I love the fact that this is in Nashville this year. If you want to be part of the culture, celebrate Bitcoin with like-minded people, and hang out with us, join us at Bitcoin Conference Nashville. 10% off. Use the code Altcoin Daily. Link and details in the description. I hope to see you there. Ethereum educator Anthony Sassano, who runs the YouTube channel The Daily Gwei, emphasizes exactly the importance of this bill, not just for Ethereum, but for the crypto industry at large. Listen.
What I do want to do is open this up to the conversation about how this is more than just about the ETH ETF, because of the fact that, yeah, it seems like the Democrats overnight, based on, whether it's based on Trump's rhetoric or not, I'm not going to kind of opine on that, but they changed their stance here. They seem to be very pro-crypto now. Not all of them, not Gary Gensler, he definitely is still negative towards crypto, not some of the other high-ranking Democrats such as Brad Sherman and I think Maxine Waters. Those people, especially Elizabeth Warren, I don't think they have changed their tune or anything like that. But enough Democrats have that it seems to have shifted things. And it's not just the fact that they approved the ETH ETF, even though there were a lot of signs that they were going to deny it. There are a lot of signs that the SEC was going to try and go after ETH as a security, which actually I should mention that the fact that the SEC has approved a commodity-based trust for these ETFs for ETH means that the SEC has basically admitted that they are going to let ETH be regulated as a commodity and not a security. So we've put to bed the security aspect, or I guess like the security argument against ETH. Like that's it, it's finished. We should not hear about it again. Staking is a whole other argument, and I saw, as I predicted, that all the issuers removed staking from their ETF because that was obvious that they were going to do that. But I do think the SEC is still going to go after various staking products, so we're going to have to see how that plays out there for being a security or an investment contract, whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to the actual asset we know as ETH, right, obviously, there's no deeming that a security. And that has downstream effects into the SEC's case against Coinbase and Binance and Kraken over the other assets that they have said that are securities. That has effects there as well. So there's just a Pandora's box that has really been opened here. But there was also a new set of legislation that was passed through the House. So it still needs to pass the Senate and then needs to be signed by Biden to make it into law. But it is a very nice piece of legislation that was passed. I think it's a FIT21 Act. Now, this had been in the works for a while, and it actually sets out some pretty clear guidelines on how to regulate crypto. The fact that they've got something like this in the Act basically says to the SEC, you guys haven't been regulating crypto as you should. We have to basically put in new legislation in order to regulate crypto and to define what is a security and what is a commodity. So here it is, essentially. So this is not only, as I said, good for the ETH ETF that the Democrats have changed their tune here, but the fact that this passed the House with a lot of Democrat support means that it is now possible that it could pass the Senate and then be voted into law, and we actually get good crypto legislation, or any crypto legislation really, that can protect crypto's interests in the US and protect crypto in the US and end, or hopefully kind of really weaken this absolute clusterfuck that the SEC has brought upon crypto over the last couple of years. So that, to me, is the most bullish thing about the last week or the last few days. Not so much the ETH ETF being approved. As bullish as that is for ETH, this is bullish for all of crypto. Obviously for ETH, but for all of crypto, which is going to benefit all of us. So I actually can't believe that this happened. I was very surprised that this happened. The SEC is done racking up losses. The Democrats cannot afford this, because what's going to happen if they did deny the ETH ETF, is this is the calculus that I think that they did, is that because Trump is now kind of pandering to the crypto audience and is like pro-crypto here, he would hit on that, and he would keep hitting the Democrats, keep hitting the SEC on this, and keep saying, as we're leading up to the elections in November, oh, the Democrats are anti-crypto, look at them breaking the law here, look at them doing this, and he keep putting attention on it. And that's something they definitely do not want. The bigger picture is the fact that the Democrats, a nice bulk of them, seem to have shifted their stance on crypto and are more pro-crypto here, which is what we all want to see, especially those living in the US. The tides have turned, my friends. These are bullish tides, definitely. I do think that with the BTC and ETH both having ETFs now, that's going to mean that both of those assets go into price discovery again relatively shortly. I think you could see this over the next few weeks, definitely, and then they'll be on a level playing field as well. I'm very glad that ETH is on a level playing field with BTC now. I didn't think it was fair that BTC had an ETF and ETH didn't. And then there is the long tail of crypto assets that are still going to be majority, not even just majority, like 99% of the money that goes into these other assets will be crypto natives and new people to crypto.
Hey, make sure you check out any of our videos from the past 6 months. These videos are still insanely relevant. And make sure you follow us on Twitter as well for up-to-the-minute updates. I'll end things here and I want to pay my respects to the original Doge, the dog that inspired the meme. Doge dog has died. We salute you, sir. It's been a good run. Here's to the next era of crypto that you helped usher in.
And a sad update from this morning, the Dogecoin mascot has passed away. Kabasu, the Shiba Inu that rose to fame as the face of both the meme Doge and the token Dogecoin, passed away peacefully in her sleep, according to an Instagram post from her owner. Another post on X early this morning from the Dogecoin account said that the impact this one dog has made across the world is immeasurable. As of noon Eastern, a sympathy rally pushed Dogecoin higher by more than 6%.